Mr. Director, on the organization bit of the debate, where do you think we got it wrong? Because on the national level, I watched one for Nairobi County gubernatorial debate, and it was so different from what we had at Kamal Park. Do you think it was a miss on the public or on the organizers?
Ine wabere gukurigia ngayura nyore ebintu bya nyumba buna bonu chimesa amo nebirugo elio enyumba yao esaserie Neyland Furniture nalyo lichibuli yao.
Hey, sir. Thanks sana kwa make time.
Asante, thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here.
Kupatia chakula before ingi. Umekula?
Nimekula airbags. Airbags are my airbaggers.
I think wewe ulikuwa karibu kupata accident na airbags. Hey, niaje debates umezionaje?
The debates have been very, very interesting. If I talk about the ones we've had here at home, it could be more focused for me.
Oh yeah.
I think we've had like one or two, and I attended one that happened a couple of weeks ago at Kamal Park, yes. Right. From the background, it was going to be a very good debate. If the candidates were focused on the debate and the rules governing the debate. But as it were, it didn't happen like that, and we lost ourselves on the side shows, unfortunately.
Yeah, there was too much side shows.
Yes, so the citizens were denied an opportunity to interrogate the governor candidates and get what they stand for, and probably dig into their manifestos and what agenda they have for our people.
Mr. Director, on the organization bit of the debate, where do you think we got it wrong? Because on the national level, I watched one for Nairobi County gubernatorial debate, and it was so different from what we had at Kamal Park. Do you think it was a miss on the public or on the organizers? Because at some point it wasn't a debate.
Exactly. I think it's a miss on the organizers. What we've seen in Nairobi, especially the presidential campaign, is that all the media houses came together. Okay. Karoba chamo wakawanganga tigatoche twensiamo tokore debate ye. Kuna abantu wamangana maya.
Yeah, sure.
Chi debate na roche gusiga for instance ya moya KBC. So it was purely KBC. Yeah. So if all the media houses chagusi nchi achitamu chisaranse chirosie format una na the presidential debate ya bana ne yu ya governor ya Nairobi angantu anyoreteri bagarigia yo kuraya debate yabengiye mono na wananchi wanyoreri baga ryo kuringoria bali bakubori uburayi bamanyanga marro kibabwate ase okorae county yeto asamatuka yagendrete buchimuto.
Exactly. Na again dongira ba kore tenta expected tipi ba kore as the organizers. Wako wanchira a big crowd of supporters to these different politicians. Wako cha se hall. Yaringe koba akong no ne moderator ko boli riswali. At some point I think wakaba against one of the moderators, so they wanted him out. At some point, do you think so that the big mass of human beings are represented rather than
very true. Again, that points to the format. On a debate, each candidate 7, maybe candidate ki inchu na wafuasi wa onye 5 or 10. They should have stuck to that number. Anya batagete go actually a hall, probably they could have also figured out na wali kwa analyzing cohorts kitotagete chiba represented here. Yeah? Bale go choru randomly. For instance, anya batagete abalemi bache. Bate beto what is sub county kianda for instance. Tomulemi moyo. Okay? Probably otaliwe chikomenyekana gusena ali chama gete so passionately go candidate gete. Onyena abantu baligeretia mangana yobo chenonye community health volunteers korabo onyena basaye you know. So besides abara yabakoleta abantu bali babo bara first babo 10 kola twaenge abantu babwate a mixed representation ya interest chonspi chi county nawe yacha kababia and again a weakness yerega abunga na ki organization yalingi no anya security was it taken care of kiagara ntuma think kiaja kwaba ekebe wetani kitwarochi
na ndugu chako korema koreta abantu unajua politics njire emotive sana
very true
kwa njira na koreta crowd kenga na keri from different ends na ndibara muri tukiri batakete umuntu apase message yae security wise ngakirite kikyosa kine risk yenene sana.
It was a big risk kento kyange Congo control ono igatigaranga tigebe bune koba kyagera nabantu bacha kurwana askari mbaise ne balendete amanyane hotel amanyane nabacha konyora sarende yas so saliwe bintu nabantu banyole chingoma. So I think it's a good lesson ikiabeta so that in the future kenege ochikoba kuna chi debate bunechi twanyaranga twasomire kurwa segente.
Yeah, to me na ngoteba kwanza ngwagera bali ba organizative ya mono kigera it was a first of many to come probably na ekento kende ngeringa but I believe they could have done better. Nima the people who are involved in abantu bamanye tebinde they could have done better. It was a miss but on the highlight na rocho musawe omase line up area abantu barengari musawe omonande next ya border and asibari batarenge kunyara ko make points tari oyo mobo rengo make yarenge points ayinkira gore ro musawe and it's something ndata ketuko kuane rigoro yabasae ne role yaito ne
okubori olenge kubori bugabana musaina alengo I think asa abantu bali bonse babakuboria oyo mona alengo goro kwa Dr. Nchiri.
Dr. Nchiri, yeah.
I think naro yo kubuli bugavana. No muntu bwe myaka emeke. Na ende asoko mategarara na tegararata naro chenga bwate iganga giti.
Yeah.
Ata go share na abantu baminto bamenyanga jikinda so bugambi ninchiko koleka na niki. Egento kerekia ase umusaho ligotenena. No kurusie birangarari bitobwate most of the time nga muntu moketa konyara kora. I think society ngo chenchire onye omusaho lyo osomire kurwa birasi bense mbakobere umunyagitari wada no munyagitari bwa masomo gusomunyagitari okurwa lya abantu obeiro murai at one level no na munyane kuera gukore school no murai
no murai ore
ya tabanga togoja twakora school
bare twateme kuera pengine
so I think it's a positive attribute nga not nenete abodi kirogo and then people should be able to look at him ne agenda yaye the last election ya momronde not neto yoro mosanyane and is my age mate akariza iniegas kiagara ngo ikolotanga nimbo no engineer nimbo tegas yenene nkinende ndataka but the fact that omuntu nkoriza iniare gas yaye oru comfort zone yaye ocha kubori chikura igona bote musugu mogete nga intagete nchenche bintu gete asobogima bwa abantu baminto
amen
na abantu bande mbarako anyanga lazima nditaye ndacha kuri yegasiende so probably na mangana banencha banyere bante go interrogate igontra tanga abantu bali tayire mbabori kero probably na barabungo chabali na a rich experience
exactly on again tunkroro specifically on our side nationwide ndobwate role anda basaya abange be so kiri batakete ko chikura bakori elective positions tinde tukwanire baba sakaje on the national level kose county chinde but nonyenka gaiga buna campaign chigendere toro chaba sayembaro buna chia chagete there are people who have dropped lakini riswa riani nene usi chumbwa tenene we keep saying abasayana baraiba mambi into abaraiba mambi but tinkaite no juni ya very killed over time tokote bana baraiba rero abamura ba very bold kuri baro bo MC ngori baro governor kuri bare elective seats chinyinge. What would you say on that? Nkira responde karo korenga abasae probably batakete ko mentored na ba chiri tayari pengine ko sabantu ba very experienced in politics ko somo sai nata kirache in na fresh ideas etari ko matanga na mentored no kigara na what they touching out yira translate to real change of regime and change of policies. Do we rather go through the mentorship program which 50 na rito ja kora go say we go for it?
Bya mona siri swali elio nchenko ligelia mangana sinchira ibere ritang'ani nyasaye bunakogera abantu batongwa na baiburu kero omonto nabwate trajectory yaye y'obogima na omonto nare ora iboru ebora niwo oborayi obo nare ora iborwe tatwara oborayi lakini abe mentored abo morayi so whether you are mentored or not as a young person ribaga nobwate buna rire ase richiko riense kubori oborayi igo teri buya goteba ng'a abasaye baraganyake ng'aya karaisaransa. I would tell you about a young man that I know. Okoroku Anthony Kibagendi.
Yeah, Anthony Kibagendi.
Anthony Kibagendi niga chagete kubori chukura chobo chumbe bwaboge tutuli ya lenge ngima. I think nali akorwere college iga. And at that time intete kumurigereri kyagara I think we are age mates. At that time intete kurigereri na ere murigereri. I think a vision abwatenga kijwa kubori chukura. The kind of thinking he had ya kubori chukura must have been on a different level. Okay? Na onyo olengo mosae oso mwana toramuruke obuna bagusito nyite kuruka. Na abantu bande mbale bale kubori chukura chinga kiechu balenge abantu b'emyaka menene. Okay? Karo kwale kurigeria mangana Anthony agokwana na mangana chikanditi chinde chigokwana abo kwale koranga Anthony nabwate amarora ale igoro kubwana enoyo
oyo experienced
in politics. So it's important inga erena agendete kwerwonerera asoborayi kuruga bado mpaka bono nkuboli yale tara kwa moyo ngana ki ngana bwiru so karanga likirikyo kwementa actually that's self mentorship as much as nenda nyorera barayi banda akanya kuomera anya kwa mentor do obere na barayi gocha oro kiri self mentorship so it's very important we sugumire ro manyane tara sugumu. Mentorship is very important. Probably ekarogonya kwa bana abantu bande wabwatire experience na bakunyara kulani one or two things which is very important. So I think for me I will go for a blend.
A blend
of self mentorship na mentorship by experienced leaders elinde tolenga oborayi bwabasaya mbokina.
Yeah, wow. That's great. But I have nothing against the experienced people because because they have a lot and nyarako giving the bibia kuchimoto lakini notion nere wabwate ogosangi ogotenenega buno mosai bacha bagote ya Douglas Arege timuka tigango so ase campaign yane ngoro kiga togo so mutu ari ngo kwande gitari na inde kingo nya kusuka kuchiari ngona ku understand your politics tari mangana yo korrego tiganda comment and then which next I will support you. Kwa sangi musa so iregari not only are you losing chance na basai bari kwa promise ngango tinenore ngo lose your time is running. You will not be elected as a youth anymore. Maybe you have 5 years osange basai abange bako tinena babwate maybe 7 years to expiring from being youth. Again to kende by aligning yourself no mugako yo again to kokora nebida ebirandi akokwa so in print area nera goko ambo kiriga no chobo mugambi egento yokokoge egento rakora no kogendereri regime ya kogendereri birengeri bya kegeroko he has been mentoring you so egento kwango giringa self mentorship kegera no bwate something specific about you kegokora on board mentorship ego commentera ebintu bite bibire bitatoga so that you akaro at the end of the day ore morai you have yourself and so much information from the rest. Nkira kwanera basaya baba minto kusangi batari reba gotara gumuga komako motebi tari umugaka gusonde bwense mutinga support me to get I will not shy from saying ni maita bantange babire batatu but mo oyomo I felt personally disappointed in kuno mosai akoro ku Charles Choya Matoke ngakireta na akorete gasi nyinge he went to every other sub county in Kisii County akameke abantu bakabelieve nga finally there is hope musao yo abantu bakachakora arenge ko barangire number 2 so nanda election any campaign sinjira chakavya but yekerase he stepped down for someone else. Do you think what according to you as a person do you think he did the right thing and do you think he's ever going to come back the kind of Viga abwate was never received the same way?
Well, Siasa is very dynamic. And so, in Chasa Kwarakwane, inko ganda back to again to nate banga iganga yao yoko tukakucha kuvori oburai niki. Lazima ikaro kuvori oburai yobo again don't kereke kusume to taite ku change. And probably kwaro denga na ki, there are two ways about it. Either you can change it directly by you influencing abantu barara marara obakubwatsie ose ogwaki noyo minonde urategerera mararayu anyanche konyabukoli on your behalf and on behalf of the community. So probably I'm thinking oyo minto moske Charles Matoke konyenjera chire siasa yake konya abantu bachakire komorengereri differently. You know nga oyo no monto pu self mentre nando watamararo. Probably we can find a solution to our leadership and the governance gwetera asari. Ego ogotega koria tigete for sure. A cohort yana yale kuma support is the youth badge, the youth vote. Mbaba ete disappointed. Konya bachakire abasaya bachakire go chama nchiragite. Ende barolinga ase onde nabora nyale basaya bale kobori mbale ange babere go seba to bare young actually comment no you Dr. Nchiri. Bale ko represent alternative leadership. But yasa wata tunabakoranga era sa ikire konyobere a cream kia babande.
Yeah, exactly.
So na bwate representation osumo ngusobwa basai. What was a huge disappointment. Again, tonta manyanga inkiara kole claim
the position.
that position
the cream.
As abasai ne community in the future. 5 years na matuka mange. Dynamics ngo change chire. Maybe tari roja kutwale birangarari ebibone byabantu baranyale bagotakenga kiyo. So what I would urge abasai tikababori unabono onyo montakania muske dio kimainga echatetaburi.
Yeah.
Kera na buri te ochumbe bumachoge burabu.
Andare ngomoke sara again.
Andare ngomoke sara
24-25.
Kwetero ko bori oku. He raised his stature in society. That now people were able to negotiate with him. Karachika county yaba, county government yaro si government. Bakaranga asaba saya ande ba boli chikura umusayo ruanire. Oikire angoli okolire. Whichever position yaba, probably there is something in him.
Yeah,
and he was tapped to come and work in the county.
Exactly.
And that has exposed him to various opportunities, choborai, and probably has been mentored better.
Gareth, I respect Duke on that differently. More respected here singing. He is a fought against all odds. We they are now sharing a mic and is mentioned and known by all means the deputy president and Akuran Netiquette, one of the biggest parties we have. I would do what? I would sacrifice anything for that. Kere yu kopeka to a level that much as Nabota win, lakini you will, even how they discuss, these other guys, how they discuss matters now, you are a leader by default.
Exactly.
Lakini krogo chaka, oko disappoint, for example, say, Boma Choge, Chache, I think, abantu baribons pia tebiringa, the Kobori, I think in Jumuang, again, I think a kid na Korega, see account, and they want on Nigagande, then you come down. You're stepping down for whatever reason. I think you kill the beliefs. You ita faith iri abantu babwatenga ki finally umuntu naro romo sai naro buna nchebono ntoko krega siaba sai mostly umuntu naro toka enda toko tebanga a county government they go to understand fully singing they don't think like us.
Exactly.
We will fight Douglas Yaswagari. We will fight Nyarewaswari for that one reason. That's why agenda again they were in Wakachipura. Ekarana go calm down, go step down for whatever reason. Kwaitire kwegena kwane wetro kwegena kwana sawa sai kwetire no think fight the same way I was fighting next time. So I think salute to those who followed the way Duke. Abantu but now last before like a few months ago angana kubarireta abantu go say in every constituency and in every ward and in even the national and county level abasaya banga. Like right now, Tima is the most aurora as a senator. Tingaret was an arrow. Timanyit, Yonikaron, Retarika, top cream. Like we could be having a Kengo Okengo Nyambane there. He was just stepped down. Charles Matoke did the same thing. I salute a few people when you are the Migi Kuru Pumagenche.
Magenche, yes.
And then Echate, and then now Onchiri. But really, as a body where I a chance to correct guys Punavasai. Do you feel they have gained, they have made the public gain trust as Abasai in a way that apart from support Kunavasai work, Mbanyore support Yavanto people?
Probably they can, and they are reckoned with on your coil bago collegas. Nakikwanya korire. Osena kia no nyotora guribaga na kyokwe okwe bogori. For instance, I will tell you nga wode ya monere nkororo mwana omosae akobori chikura. Akabori taira, but he's ever popular nanya kwebori ninki. And I think okonyora abantu bagotebanga tabwati chibase kyara ko skuru taralikwa bakomochangera bakomwakanire pikipiki amurabe pikipiki bakomobogolinga yande campaign. And he has maintained ribagari ya siasa for the last 10 years.
Wow.
And ebono na Arege ti igo again tonkerororo abantu bararore na ende support ya italia saba abasaeboka abangina na bagaka. So nabokoranga abantu bonse mbabwato mongusogete. So probably inke koko represent as a community yao buno musai, so that people can be able to follow you or to listen to you. So for me as a abasai bakubodi chikura na kie kinda batabinga inki agenda kio ko represent ego kuna chikohot chonse kuna abasai kuna abantu abanene kuna abangina kuna people with disability, various sections of community. Okunomoremi atanga probably if we give this young man or woman a chance, they can be able to push our agenda forward.
Oh yeah. So at the end of the day, ne agenda yomuntu youth tari ticket yogo goetia. So ikora oteme kuna se kire aspect ya life ya.
Very true.
So now on the national level, tukungira na the county level, so tukwara na Nyamira kidogo. So okay, like on national level, abasai mbare wate nini in different areas. Like yunda taketora kuanira boniga Sakaja. Johnson Sakaja over time already senator for 5 years now. And they got thinking a part of the people who a part get the constitution, Kerarea school. So he comes out as a charismatic leader. Nandinari youth. Among the people in Jinda and disappoint saying to watch on the youth card Sakaja. What do you think? Is he a good example we can use about Evasa?
Sakaja ase egasia ya chorere tue yobo senator okorire egasingia buno morayo chorire egasia buno ekaroro tumire bunge chire isato representation. You have to represent abantu bali bako chorete buna bonere niga chorete na abantu wa Nairobi County. Kolengia over represented very well. No nyo chorete na abantu wa Nairobi County no musahare or represent the young people very well. Oise korora chibila retire bunge ni chigo kwana mangana akorenga abantu abake. Chikorenga abasai, chikorenga other social community groups nabono abanyabiasara usabantu bokonyorogo ke mangana social services. Ya mentre na legislation. Kale tira machika yo arosi go hetire. Takode tiegas. And I think as a senator Cheito overall as a tamu ya era ranking ya era igoro. So go kora amachiko. So we've talked about oversight. Ekaro alenge koligele mangana ya county ya Nairobi na play the role ya oversight buya. Raise issues chia administration yo kabiro mugavana on Nairobi County kumbolinga. If these are the programs for development, so no mosayo mokocho retwe lakini okolire abasaye kuba proud kuna nchendarare kyagara okolire egangeri achoreretwe igo na bare omonto bwento kwa une example nga abantu baminto kimoko bori oburayeta no mu MC ore omuchumba ore usine senator rorango buna Sakaja akorete gasi ya representation oversight and representation na eno muchiko karabo kimuraire chikuru.
Exactly. So our Sayembaro Romanyete, apart from Sakaja, were elected in the previous, in the current, in fact, parliament, both houses. Abange babo mande babo chances chokwira na chirenze, and some of them are not even on the ballot. Same singing to your story over to perform over jabak to work again to work on it. Apart from Sakaja, do you have, I think there are so many not very good stories. Like apart from Sakaja, even worldwide, even globally, do we have any positive stories to our side? And how do we deal, ndo tusipoteze hizo stories positive, how do we deal with this kitu ya aikaraganya? How do we deal with it?
I think the mentorship we need, for instance, for me, ntu agatwarire kale program nanche nasomete yaliko rukunga political leadership development program. A program wenigo yarosetigwe na civil societies na other non-state actors wale koranga inkitogo kora komenta basai pamanyenga oburayo buya so that particular program is what I could recommend so that we have people like Sakaja Antobona Arege, I think no Senator Onandi Nero rakorera mangana legislation via na Onyancheru Yot, almost Senator Kericho. But to what we could call a young leaders political masterclass.
Yeah.
Pago chabaso mia bantu bandenga inche ekenakike enge egangayane okuboli bo senator. Karona irete na kitenga koraiga. And politically we think the easier thing is winning probably. We think it's the hardest, but the easier thing is winning. Karawa so ire bungeri enchero ko handle. Enchero ko kole bintu byao. Kera it will need you to have soft skills na bono networking, kumanyana kyo influence abantu bande, kumanyana kyo bring other stakeholders on board. Elinde agenda yao tagata correct. Adopted. So I think we will need either at the national level and at the counties, because we need the constitution yetu ya Kenya ya 2010. Nigueta mangana maya yoborai and leadership. And we want transformative leadership at the society chetu. So the tagata key, whether you are 90 years, if you are transformative, we can elect you. Okay? But essentially, over time, generations get that kind of mentorship through trainings, experiencing so that
wow. Again, the Krekwa Kwara wiki sana. Young Leaders Political Masterclass. Again, the king of Kikos effective. I think that could be the solution. Na wara sangi na banta bangi na wanjina wara rengelinga kikagidora kormo sayabe aso bunge usabe na president. We need money. We need ABCD. Yapa unega asengo. But the job itself iko kwa office.
Exactly.
You might end up being a mess. Maybe to understand it again take. So leadership, even from grassroots. Who should be tasked with that?
It should be a deliberate effort, serikali and the civil societies. No one person can do it. Mpaka naone kanisa nitakirego so amanga nayo. Inche nale korora gabana bono nye turu example kya bosongo gaya. Ntobwate buna bono nationally we have the presidential awards, the presidential programs. Buna bono ntu atwale ministry ya youth ebwate through the public service ekoira young professionals baba egasi mwakumugima banyakulana ki government ko barani. What stops us from having a shadow county government for young people? And then you go to your village, you are elected kwaba a shadow MCA lakini only under 34 years, 18 to 34 years. The county government can partner with the non-state actors. Valigenjira bago finance, county finance, non-state actors finance, so that abantu abo bacanye gotate ko chakobori chikora 2027 bono ngawana no you are applying to the master class, the political leadership master class. Mwata bunga policy formulation process ni gerega. Mangana yokorosi legislation ni gerega. So that by the time ngoja kogende field kukwana nabantu kwa sabe kura kwa mnyanga na basabire kura manta bantu bali bakosabe kura bazameze kibakosabire kura. Because they do not have the agenda. And then bara absorb ebintu byabana nchi batagete bakoleru. You know, probably for me ntaito kwa MCA insiku. Abantu barare nimbote gali enene. Osena nyolire babesa boke I can bribe and buy votes. Nyole kirogo konkonya kupasu mara personal agendas. So that bona karo bantu bachakolera nga ntubwati mache ngokuminga mechandoki nchena taiti andanga ko banda mache. Are you seeing the point?
Yes. I think there are so many people don't care to first understand the job.
It's very important.
It's a prestigious, glamorous job.
Yes.
But you don't know the so many, I think, even in the sitting parliament, Kisi County and Nyamira, of course, and all over Kenya, it's common. Abantu mari bako so na gosoka, bado batana ko understand fully chikas chawaniki.
Exactly.
And I think the way to go, how I wish we can to make politics na leadership so real to an extent that if you don't understand, you don't understand. Exactly. Instead of what abangana apate degree kuru maseno ya music, yeta very relevant. Tiganga the master class chiri anyore tumanyungu muntu na understand what is asking for.
Exactly. Because nchina sa serikali miaka ya 10 probably nabogoto are very good intentions, lofty ideas, beautiful ideas. But once you are in there, my friend, probably I think for lack of a better word, I think inda tevenga oboro gimbole bole mari bogo chabwa kubwata ose bintu mbire bikolekeire serikali bikobe bikom buna ora chene brangalinga bona igantagete na agachire nyombe, you know, you are coming and saying agenda ya na buna bono no ko make sure to agachire studio artist bagocha ko terere bintu byabo and to aro serious age yaba ko bintu byabo
first 100 years studio radio resource center
keregento in 100 days ekitu arosiri but watch agali kwanyoza system echire makolekani watch kurwana abokanda kora 5 years so probably those are things we are talking about, but if we had this kind of engagements konya role kumanya ko make abarai bali executive accountable, abago legislator accountable, and probably going to kende toko karane ebuna bananchi ngakarato akire chukura to akori. Civil society is very important. We need to keep watching. I met young people who wanted to do a peace concert in the next couple of days. So that probably, I mean, there's no reason for us to fight. Let's try and have a sober way to engage amangana yoborai. Nabera bachi agenda chomo ntoko support nature and chiriko gendamu. That doesn't mean we have to fight. That doesn't mean we have to kill each other and destroy property. So abasaya bunche nabatabatiga is my own thinking. Chinguru abasaya babwate ne chinene akini ntora realize because we are not cohesive ntora channels together. Rangalio mukutano monene stadium. Aenda matabango chakawatora bantu tubata mansikani asakara yo mukubori chukura. Rosi agenda initangana ki we want to sign an MOU with every governor, every women rep and every senator. On the bare minimums, once was in 100 days, and we have to also do it after every year. We have to evaluate whether the target to so probably are you going to hold me accountable? And then I'm focusing on how to get my money back. So the kind of mentorship we want for our young people is that they can start asking the hard questions about leadership now. manifesto ya okwara osetinga ngo chole ko koreki niki tonyere rango otwerese na numuchete skuru abande they are economists abande they are accountants chisabu chitota bingo ngambi yachirenga in 1 year or in 5 years will achieve this so that we will be sure if the county of Kisii kebwate abana bakolete high school maybe ase myaka 5 yaetire bale 300,000 naki was 30,000 sorry naki abana aba bagokonyu access ya masomo okay eroli government nereri ko bakonya ba access ya masomo and naki ko ba empower after masomo wachake go build themselves wealth for themselves create jobs for the young people and create wealth for the county. But if you have not done that, mutual understanding na bagabana bamatangana ki into a manifesto ya onere itu ayanchire akina ntunto gwate our bare minimums so that in the first 1 year or obviously tatatunyalenga wa create 1,000 jobs directly or indirectly. So go chirusi now tell us because you have an agenda. Probably go create cottage industries chikasi probably go role abana kwende diploma ga say 2 years nego kamba for 5 years we want to know by the 5th year ndanyola abana 500 banyalire gukora plumbing welding baranyale ko anda bali ka bamwabo basomya bamwabo na craftsmanship bachagwite nene. You see, so if the young people are not focused on issues and on agenda no goteranga osinyaleba na ere work, then there's a huge problem. Then the transformative leadership we are talking about, the change in how we think and do things, kobeka baraya basahese birongo chikobere gas kera ntito isaransa mwatarira bali babwate chigasi
ikineke na chile kora rengereri no nechi party jine na chikoendera ko insist on the national level ngamba their manifesto yarenge involved to the public, but in personally thinking already okay muntu na represented probably, but now on county level I expected it ndori banga mon expect njitari ntamanyeka ni mon expect to have been reached out kukwanda na film or say something about film one on data you reach it out tinde gumo bando to karagas na barongo sina on the reach it out to the film people bamanyanga toto kereo kora as far as no anoko create jobs na preserve our culture and when marketing our county inki torakore na entum kitoto kereo kora one gano monda to reach it out lakini como territory I think at the end of the day need to have ndo chibarimo we have the problem
kana wate vile buna bono amangana at the arts generally it's a very rich area you could create opportunities for young people and probably you are finding that young people are in this mood. It's what they enjoy doing. In tabi inga chigabane H7 chikoboli manifesto yange ukwane goro ya manganayo a creative arts,
not a single one.
Yeah,
hakuna.
And the creative industry is where the money is right now.
There are hundreds and hundreds of human beings were in art, and there are thousands more what get also art, but we don't expand because we are not even recognized.
Good. Bono nubuna chi artists sabantaba creative industry. I would want to sit here and say blame yourselves because you have the power and you've not used it. Mwalego isana samatangana ki into the creative industry ya bosongo. Chigaba na 7 inta chi manifesto chi no bisi yeito to chirigereri. Mwali kere back matangana ki intoro chikende ya creative industry ga. Please mokamenta go sema kwa tukora cheito.
Ando manya into to kunyara ko kwa na raisinga
lakini bwana nini mwa basokera matara motaranga kusena kiko
matara dada basoka tia bira anda
ona mangana yuna kimuro chako
I think into we are our own worst enemies. Moving on from that, I want to as we wind up, I want to abasaya babaito bateni already. We wish them the best wherever they are. Nigeriora batevi na maybe apart from what akramaya, or encourage with anything kiraba konye once they are in office. On the nara rora verified to kera bono ga master class chindo chine chiracha konye binyoro. Mjaja konya basai baito. Maybe anavara ikegari okoira what is the easier part avara ikegari osangi ya musambire. Could you give them even references? Ngabantu bari ba make it as youth we go fight against odds we need mentorship before
Omusa oyo monarega ali Taita Taveta okoro ku Mwambingu omumuro oyu nigerwanirire gocha I think he was nominated MC in the last bunge ya Taita Taveta County, and it's one of the examples ngogote binaro lire benefited from leadership training. One guy is gunning for MP.
Okay.
And the way I see him conducting himself as a Kenyoro, I admire because he's implementing even to Arege Soma.
Wow.
Okay. So I only pray that Aire and recommend opportunities for other young leaders in that manner. I think again Tonda Teven Kelinga Abaraya Bambaro, and probably only that we are now dwelling on politics. Obora yobombole noye as trade unions. Ora yobombole noye as corporate world. Okay? Ndotagete abasaya abaito wakina soborai wa corporate world. Like you people want more in the creative industry. Mobuat company chino mokuranili this business that you do. Whether it's music, whether it's film and all that. You are corporate leaders. We want you more mentored, some more self-mentor in developing yourself within that industry and growing and creating wealth in it. As you do that, other people are also coming to learn. Well, what interest? You create an opportunity for them. If it's in the trade unions, even in the political parties largely, similarly, that's what we hope that can happen. Our side will be able to come together, but I go champion the issues, and the avenues as Vagochi, Eteri, Vakolegas. But I wonder if we are talking about the business environment in Yankee County. Is it favoring our side? Is it favoring the creatives? Okay. So where can you start negotiating with the leaders? Onye bana na bwa bacholi rukani onye buna bana onye no mwana yo minto migi for instance kago swa inside kara mwanjira so can he be able to pick up issues cha creative industry achire bunge achirwa nerere anya mwaka na licenses zigete chikuba miga mo kore bisara bino bia can he be able to do that? That's what we are looking at. So probably again to kende kerabe after bacholirwe I want to open an opportunity yoko babekamo as young leaders. I think there's an state actor that does that. Eba sominga one more choliru. Probably more might have been TV. Lakini abantu katoba sominga nakimoji kokora representation, legislation, and oversight. So that will make the cohort that is looking up to you, the young people, proud.
Yeah. Wow. For us, as a and once they are there, what there is there's a way para fundishe into tobatebi kera at the end of the day need to what the leaders of some organizations need to have policy makers.
Sure.
So we need to involve ourselves. Because among Siasa it's not going to help anything.
True.
Douglas Arege, Director of Youth. Akero as the county na probably Osoro the youth mbawate special space and the youth are going to be but affect mono generation yako kwati whether we like it or not ngoget to all ngo inherit to go sinko mentor to ikigare nkikerioro chekige tara korubia go segeta kire go korubia by all means as a matter of urgency rinaritora nyore worth leaders, worth youth. Wano kira ni mpaka local kabisa.
Biamona series wali. I think I will look at it in two ways. One is self-assessment. It's been nearly 5 years kurumbea mwavisa wabasai. And some of the things that we hoped we would do, I can say ntorabi kora to the benefit of young people. And mbia whatever. Kena yesekere mtu awate amachiko twaros yamaya ndabona twali create a youth fund, but we didn't realize it. It was probably going to support abasai konyora funds ndabona bora nyoro gwata mangana ya maya a creative industry, but you do not have resources to buy your own camera and the grids and all those things you need. So that did not happen. We hoped that we could be able to have a studio where the creatives could also experience Amangana and Arabuna sports. Probably we should have set a huge sports academy because of the potential area we see. So going to the future, one area that was succeeded in, and we realized that a bit late in every interview we had probably needed to be anchored within Lichiko and a policy framework. Now I can happily reporting as much as to realize those programs. Now recently we worked on a youth policy. And the youth policy is very rich. Iko na mangana ya creative industry, iko na mangana leadership, iko na mangana ya HCMI, iko na mangana ya afya ya Basai. So into the future, sarakali abananchi ba Kisii County barachale go chimutu. One of the most important things ya assembly ye go chikocho ruinye go chikocha kakora, and the next cabinet no go etiri chiko dia Basai. Dichikilindi wata mangana no budgetary allocations. So once that is done, I'm sure kurwa go chimutu na waja kanyaranga pilivinde bita ikerana te byachakire ko ikerana linde tobeke Abasai at a level wakunyara ko experiencing mbabwate support from the county government to implement some of the things they are passionate about, especially those programs. And if we are funding coming in because of the policy, then some of the things will be able to flow. And now Bakarebunge could have an easier job to follow up and oversight and push for allocation of resources. Ekyo moyali rende nende perspective ende ekoligelia mangana yu which mutuno gatebanga probably for me is to ensure that twakire chikurabya twabekire abagabana abaseneta n'aba women rep bali bachikonyara kokolega asibya asoko shebirangaralyo and sharing the resources and the opportunities chilanyale go build capacities chabasa.
Wow, that's great. Ono na intu na basa chi layman sikoga igatotari political leaders. I hope kento kwa na pikiri sana kwa sorengeringa we get involved. Ntoka nyato na kwa na kwa distance we get involved. Ne policy whatever. I would like to know the details. Manye kerongo naone kerongo tema kuri reach out to mheshimiwa gete ntagete a push because as sponsor na bill gete. It's within the framework. So that we can have practical dreams, practical projections.
Very true.
Wow. Thank you sana kwa make time ku hang out na sisi. And of course hatutamaliza hii show bila kuongea about unaongelesha vijana nini. Kwanza it's more appropriate to come from you as the youth director of youth. Ngikukupa tevi. We are going to elections and ni tutora tumeke sana kurutamagena ko disagree physically. Nkira batevi about peace and violence.
Abasai kentonda bateving most importantly kentonkirie kia bunobasai and the Bible actually alludes to that. Nche I am out of the youth bracket in a couple of days. No, not in a couple of days. I am out of the youth bracket. I'm an old man.
You left this year, I think.
No. I'm getting to 4th floor in a couple of days. I guess that's what I wanted to talk about.
Welcome on board.
But ekarona alengo musai, and this is what I keep telling young people that I mentor. Ekarona alengo musai, my creativity, my thinking was
different,
top notch. Nchebono inko sinyonki abasai batali kolenga. Be creative. I wish I was here with my interns that I work with in the office. I keep pulling them out of the office. But if you get in the street, find something that you think you don't like and tell us what we can do to make a difference. What I'm telling young people and my message to young people, nkelingana ki chikule chine process. Enga ki enke tuwaganyire ganyanga 2022 naike. In a couple of days we are going to vote. Please, tuwabutoroyo minoko boko. Sengencho ngataligo support candidate yao. Ose muomanire igoro ya differences chia bantu mogo support. Tigato differ on issues, on ideas. Mostly when you are saying you talk about other issues, tari agenda, tari ideas. So abasaba mintu. Nchege ntonacho kusaba mweligereri ngana ki the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Ayo manyana ngonya go transform wole na kiota go transform, and how is this government what go chora, whether no MCA usomo chumbe, usomo governor, usomo senator, usomo women contribution ya yase obogima bwa go change the better needed. Kokonyora li chibu, I think ichibu ndira so gwako yo mina usekomora. Kyaro konyora nto bakora mana mangana mabi usinyunga. Communication yete na ya bire mbe. Amato ise kora mana to kobora ningana ki ngitutarasime kireme okora mananga orochiroli yatosime kemete tikatosime koyo gosoyo makes a lot of sense. Konya mukora mana issues chitayo agenda tayo taligento kia swaba saba minto mobe komolembe inwe ase inwe and mo make sure kimobe to molembe oyu mokonya beka mbaka setebe koro montake kura serikali eti rigereri buna chigwa kuboronge na inda tonyora barayi bari twanjire kyagara the choices we make na chigo determine obugima bwitu.
Wow. Thanks a lot. Ngarito na otura kurira abo and I appreciate sana Dagi.
Thanks for having me.
Ngano birthday next year cho ndangirira linkumanya rende karaweka fourth floor. It's a big deal.
Sure, I think you know the other day somebody was telling me that people now celebrate birthdays, but not my age. I can't celebrate a birthday. Probably. If I say, you go call a birthday, you go to Naka Ambori. Probably up to 25 years, you can be excited and you do that. Yeah, that's not to mean that people should not celebrate, because every time there's something you achieve. Now,
sisi wa hii age when you see millennials tufanye hivi. Akambori kalikuwa gore birthday last time.
But what I do as a way of celebrating my birthdays most of the time, I would visit children's home, but I could also plant a tree.
Wow, that's awesome.
So if you come to Culture Hall, you would find the tree now planted 2 years ago, and it's growing beautifully.
Wow.
And if I didn't do that, and that's why I keep wanting the young people to act now and act decisively. Onyenta Yosimeka 2 years ago, probably that tree will not be that big. You know.
That
so I'm looking at it and I'm thinking 2 years, and it looks slow. Okay? You know. I wish
peace. Oh, in case there's something you want to do. See, action is what? Action. Yes, if there's anything you want to do it now. Wakati uko kijana. And if it's positive, do it again. Hiyo ndo maneno tumepata from the director of Youth Kisii County, Douglas Arege, mwenye tumehang out na yeye. Na in fact, pia mimi nawaambia hivi. Waka chikura ni responsibility yetu. Duty yetu buna wa Kenya. IBC ne bwate kasi ya gukora na judiciary nere kusua in. Tikakiro monta kore kasi ya. And egasi ndi yetu apart from waka chikura no to maintain peace. Nto yetana ngasi nginchontari kuriye nyama yo kuriye nyama. Na baby nte very simple. Ko support as another go support. Ko support tu mheshimiwa getendari kumo support. There is life after 9th of August. Na tutakuwa pamoja. Mkishinda ongorere a drink to have fun. Nikishinda the same thing. Tujitreat after elections. Salute.
Ine wabere gukurigia nga yura nyore ebintu bya nyomba buna bono chimesa amo nebirugo elio enyomba yao esaserie Neyland Furniture nalyo lichibuli yao mbabwate ebintu bya nyomba buna bono chi sofa set chechingencho echichiro isire nobo manyi bwigoro mbabwate chi sofa set bono buna recliner sofa set mbabwate modern sofa sets echo chiri chikala nabwigo chiro serie chi materials chi size mbabwate dining tables, TV stands, wall units, wall decoration chechingencho bwigo mbabwate chinse echo chikomeka buya echura beke asenya siao iko bagotuka chinse mu chiri cha Uhuru Power Headquarters lirongo litangani imeyomo chobosongo boigo mbabwate orusege rundi asa kurukwa Mega City Plaza imeiyo muchulio Kisumu asa mange akisimgwetera sinamba enoti isaronibire eyemo enoti inye eyemo inye isaronibire inye gose enoti isaronibire ibere inye eyemo inye isaronibire inye. Neyland Furniture, simply elegant for quality home and office furniture.